Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Mitten Minute, our glamping journey, a podcast where I and sometimes my wife, Melissa, discuss various aspects of our journey to open a glamping resort here in Eastern Michigan. I'm Mike Crowe, and we've named our resort Mitten Getaways Glamping Company, hence why we've named our podcast the Mitten Minute. Brand extension, it's a beautiful thing. I imagine it's probably even better when your business can make money off of it. Back to our show. It is produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and is sponsored by Outdoor Alliances, a business which provides digital marketing services to campgrounds, RV parks, and glamping properties. A couple weeks ago, we talked about having to let go of the land in Howell, the property we enthusiastically thought for several weeks was going to be the home of Mitten Getaways. While it didn't work out, we are used to these land ups and downs, and being in a down phase has once again provided us with learning opportunities and a new perspective. One of the things we've refined is our land procurement strategy. Now we're placing an emphasis on finding a landowner to partner with, to lease from, or a combination of the two. We expect this to significantly reduce some major entry barriers, most notably one, getting the land under contract, and two, fitting it into the total project budget. In today's episode of the podcast, we'll talk about how we're executing on that new strategy and some of the early results we've had. So, kind of the foundation of that new strategy is a new real estate page and web form we created on our website. You can see it at mittengetaways.com/real estate. It outlines what we're looking for in the land and provides a form for the landowner to submit, including information about their land and the type of partnership that they may be interested in having with us. We've talked about what makes a great glamping property in a prior blog, but to reiterate, we are looking for land where we can establish a peaceful and private resort, and we put that on the page. We don't want our guests to see any neighbors, and we don't want the neighbors to see our guests. We emphasize this because if we had new visitors coming to the webpage who hadn't heard that part of our business model, we wanted them to understand that this wasn't a traditional campground with dozens or even hundreds of sites and the potential for heavy traffic and noise. We, of course, want to be somewhere that feels secluded, but also within a reasonable driving distance, say 15 to 20 minutes of things to do like dining, shopping, golfing, or skiing. We want our guests to be able to go out and have things to do and support local businesses. That's our vision, is to be a destination pillar of the community. And some areas in Eastern Michigan are a little too rural, having, say, only a gas station. And while I know many gas stations are locally owned, we want to support them, but they aren't exactly an attraction for people that are going on a glamping trip. So we need a little more than that. Additionally, we have several characteristics that make the land attractive. First, we need at least 30 acres. Now, in the past, we've said we need more than that. But we believe if the land's surroundings are right, we can maybe get by with 30 acres or maybe a little less. We say this in hopes of finding some land that butts up to something like a park or state land. Ideally, we'd like a water feature, like a river or a lake, or even a large pond. But lately, we have grown a little more accepting of not having a water feature on the property. On our past 3 glamping adventures this summer, none of the resorts had a lake or a river on site where you could do water activities. We put all of these characteristics that I just went over and a few more on our real estate page and set up that web form to collect information like, 1, the type of land. Is it vacant, farmland, a campground already, or some other type of land? 2, what utilities are present. Does it have electricity, water, sewer access, a septic field? And 3, what type of partnership? As I mentioned, the options of a partnership with revenue share, leasing the land to us, a combination of those, maybe a land contract, or just a simple traditional purchase. So, how has that form and page been doing for us? Well, pretty well, actually. Over a couple of weeks of putting the form out there, we've had 6 submissions, plus one person contacted us for the same matter, but they used our contact us form. So I'd say this is pretty good considering our strategy has been at no cost. We've used our social media and blog to spread the word to our audience. And I also joined several Facebook groups focused on glamping, campgrounds, and real estate, as well as groups focused on the local community. I think in all, I probably shared our real estate page on 30 or 40 Facebook groups. You're probably wondering if there were any good fits within those 6 or 7 submissions. Well, here's what we had. As of today, I haven't had a chance to talk with everyone who made a submission, but I do still plan to, even though many of them are outside of our geographic target. This whole glamping resort journey that we've been on has been about connecting with people, and in most cases, we didn't know we needed to talk with them, but a lot of good came from the conversations. So we're leaving no stone unturned and talking with everyone, even if it doesn't look like a fit up front. Case in point, one of our early submissions came from Bridget, who is actually also in Howell. She operates on Hip Camp, which is a platform that allows private landowners to rent out space for RVers and campers. She had about 20 acres and a stream on her property that connected to a lake, as well as her home on the property. Although we likely could have found a way to partner, we decided that with having only 4 good private sites on the property, as she described, it was probably a little too restrictive for what we had envisioned. But what was cool about what she had to share with us was she encouraged us to look into this area summer camp, where the managers might be interested in using their land or a portion of their land to generate additional income, like a glamping resort. This very same recommendation was actually made to us someone we met at our business couples retreat last month. And, in fact, I had left a message with the camp owners the day before I talked with Bridget. So we'll see what comes from that. Another submission came from Sam and his wife, who just bought a campground. But unfortunately, they're located in Decatur, Michigan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but it's about 3 hours from us to the southwest. It'd be awesome to have a campground as a starting point to avoid some township and state permitting, but it's just too far out of our target area, unfortunately. Linda also has land about 3 hours from us, but hers is about 3 hours north in Boyne Falls, Michigan. Her land is about 280 acres of farmland with a pond, stream, barn, and a residence. While we love that area of Michigan, and it seems like it has a lot going for it, you guys know that we've always said we wanted to bring that up north feeling to somewhere much closer to us. I spoke with someone named Jeremy yesterday who has pretty much completed all of his permitting for his rustic campground in Marquette, Michigan. That's in our Upper Peninsula and is about 6 hours from us. He has a spare 30 acres that he was considering using for glamping. And while we know the UP, or the Upper Peninsula, is beautiful, it's just too far away from our lives here. Deborah also has 30 acres with a lake, but she's in Grand Blanc, the same city we live in now. She used to own an off-grid glamping space near Manistee on the other side of the state, and we're definitely interested in speaking more with her, hopefully this week. Then there's Jason, who has 90 acres in southern Indiana, with the opportunity to purchase another 126 acres. So he has lots of space, but again, too far away from our target area. A second Jason reached out, not with land, but with an interest in partnering with us, and we'll definitely be keeping in touch with him as things move along. So we've had some good leads from this new approach and are hoping for more. I think this affirms our theory that people are out there with land that want to monetize their land. I'm really looking forward to more conversations with the people I've yet to speak with. And depending on what develops in the coming weeks, either from these conversations or new submissions on our real estate page, we may consider doing some paid advertising on social media to engage a larger audience. And of course, if any of you, our listeners, feel interested in putting our new strategy out there, we'd love for you to share it. The webpage again is mittengetaways.com/real estate. You can simply type it into your social media post and a nice little preview page will come up showing in your post. Hopefully you sharing it will improve our odds of finding our match made in Michigan, and we definitely appreciate the help. So that's our show for today. You can share ideas for future podcast episodes via mittengetaways.com/reach out or by emailing us at glampers@mittengetaways.com. The Mitten Minute, our glamping journey, is produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and is sponsored by Outdoor Alliances. Check out all episodes of the Mitten Minute at mittengetaways.com/minute. Follow our journey in other ways at mittengetaways.com/links. And thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.